Today on Unban Coolies, we have a former vice president and editor-at-large for Philomel Books. She has authored more than 40 picture books and novels for young readers. She holds a doctorate in English literature and taught children's literature on a college level, and a reviewer for the New York Times. She is the editor of the book that inspired Unban Coolies. It is truly an honor to welcome Miss Patricia Lee Gauch.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Chris. Thank you.
Thank you for coming on Unban Coolies. I hope you don't mind if we ask just a little question. So who was your favorite author as a kid?
Well, I think the book I'm reading is my favorite book. There are certainly people that I like. I like Kate DiCamillo, who is the author of children's books, and I admire her. I admire Gary Paulson. I certainly admire Jerry Spinelli. So these are novels that I admire. When I talk about picture books, sometimes I start at the beginning sometimes. I go way back. And for example, there was a book called Ping, P-I-N-G. And as a child, I love the book Ping. I think it's by Kurt Weiss. And I'm afraid I don't know if the artist or the author, but I loved the book and I would read it over and over. I loved Millions of Cats by Wanda Gog. And again, she was that same, a long time ago. I knew one of the first books of Dr. Seuss was To Think That It Happened on Mulberry Street. And I was just a little person when I read that. I was probably 5 years old. So my love of picture books goes way back. My love of Coolies is one of my favorite books. So I published something close to 1,000 books when I was at Philomel, and Coolies is one of my favorite books. It is the most beautiful, beautiful book, and what it says is terribly important. So in part, I'm here because of Coolies. I believe in Coolies. So let's talk about it.
Okay, thank you so much. That was very insightful. So you were the editor of Caldecott winning books, including Almud and So You Want to Be President. What was the process like when you decided to be the editor of Coolies? Did you reach out to the illustrator Chris Soompi, or did Yin send you the manuscript? Could you tell me how this came to be?
Yeah, no, I saw Chris's work on a Dick Jackson book, Richard Jackson book, and it was a biography, and it was a biography of an African American, and I'm not absolutely sure this minute. It was a long time ago. That's maybe 20 years ago. But I remember seeing the art and saying, this is an unusual artist. So I'm sure I called Chris. I'm not sure if I had I think we did another book first. And then, so the Coolies was by Yin, his wife, and he was the illustrator. I'm going to guess they brought that book to me. I don't think I imagined it. I think the two of them imagined it and brought the book to me.
Congratulations on Coolies winning the International Reading Association Book Award and the Parents' Choice Gold Award in 2001. Unfortunately, if you didn't know, it was banned recently. What is your take on the book banning movement, and why do you think Coolies was banned?
I was incredulous because when I was given the text, and then of course they named it Coolies, I did a lot of research. I was not certain about the name. So I did a lot of research. So for example, I called the fine artist Ed Young, and I said to him, Ed Young, are you okay with that title? How do you feel about that title? And Ed Young got back to me and said, it's a wonderful title. It's a perfect title. because to us, and he's talking about the Chinese people, coolies is a point of pride. It's a point of pride in that the people who built the transcontinental railroad were proud of the work they were doing. They were doing brave work. They were doing work that at times other people didn't want to do or couldn't do. So they were stepping up every day. And there is a double-page spread in Coolies where as a picture of the transcontinental railroad that spreads across 2 whole pages, and it's breathtaking. It's one of the best pieces of art I've ever seen. There's almost nothing like it. And so it was a mark of pride that the Chinese people regarded themselves as coolies. Now, outsiders sometimes didn't, use that as a pejorative term, but that was outsiders. That wasn't insiders. And so we were on the right side. We were trying to be honest and tell the true story of the people who built that railroad. Amazing, amazing people. Why in God's name would you ever ban a book like that celebrated a people and the courage they took in building this amazing railroad that everyone has profited from? Why on earth would you ban such a book? I would like to face the person that said such a thing, and I would say, tell me, person, what is your reasoning? Because I don't understand it. I worked really hard on this book. Chris worked hard on it. Yin worked hard on it, getting the truth. What person that you are thinking about banning? Why on earth can you possibly consider banning a book that is amazing? That would be my feeling.
Yeah, I 100% agree with you. But
good.
Why do you think it was banned? We just want to know your thoughts on it.
You know what? I'm sorry to say this. I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings, but I can only think that it's ignorance. I'm sorry. It must be ignorance. If they understood the Chinese people, if they understood what they did, if they understood the singularity of it, it was this people who did it. It's a true story. If they understood, I do not believe they would even consider banning it. I think it comes from somebody not understanding. That's what it looks like to me. It looks like a misunderstanding.
Yeah. Thank you so much for your insight. I really appreciate your time on Unban Coolies. So, what are you up to these days now that you're retired from Philomel Books?
Well, I was going to say, in a way, the story isn't over because it's a book that I will always protect. Publishers put books in print and they take books out of print. So they took this, right now, this book is in print. It was a notable book. It's a book that was highly, highly regarded by the American Library Association. So right now it's still in print, but it's been in print for many years. And so my job, even though I'm not working there anymore, is to make sure this book stays in print. So that to the best of my ability, I'll make sure it stays in print. I don't have power anymore, like I did at one time, but I still have a voice. And that, in a way, was what Philomel was all about. Philomel had a voice. It was after truth. It was after beauty, and it was after truth. So I'll keep supporting Coolies, even though I'm no longer working for the company.
Thank you so much for still supporting Coolies after all this time.
Absolutely.
I really appreciate you coming and speaking with me.
Listen, I want to thank you. Because in a way you're helping me. So I hope that the right people hear your broadcast and step up and let's hear from them. Why on earth would they ever take a beautiful book out of print if they love their children? Why would they do this? So I'd like to hear from them.
Yeah, me as well. Thank you for your time
Okay.
on Unban Coolies.
Okay, my friend. Bye-bye.